The prenup sits on the marble kitchen counter like a grenade. 23 pages of legal language that boils down to one message: we don't trust you. It's just a formality, Ralph says, not meeting my eyes. He's standing by the window of his parents' estate, backlit by afternoon sun that makes him look like a stranger. Everyone does them now. Everyone meaning people marrying gold diggers? Annette, don't be dramatic. Your mother called me that. Yesterday. To my face. At the engagement party she insisted on hosting. He finally turns. She was drunk. She was honest. Patricia Whitmore doesn't get drunk. She gets precise. At yesterday's party, in front of 75 guests, she pulled me aside in the powder room and delivered her assessment with surgical clarity. You're 28, a school teacher making $47,000 a year, and you're marrying my son who's worth $8 million. What would you call yourself? I'd walked out without answering. Drove home to my apartment, the one Ralph keeps saying I should give up since we'll be living at the estate anyway. Spent the night questioning everything about the last 18 months. Now Ralph is here with the prenup his family's lawyers drafted. 3 weeks before the wedding. I pick up the document. Flip through pages of clauses about separate property, limited spousal support, division of assets. At the back, a list of Ralph Whitmore's premarital assets that reads like a portfolio prospectus. Your mother wrote this, didn't she? The lawyers wrote it. On your mother's instructions. He doesn't deny it. Just stands there, uncomfortable in his own family's house, waiting for me to sign away any claim to his money. What happens if I don't sign? His jaw tightens. Annette, I'm asking a question. What happens? The wedding doesn't happen. There it is. The ultimatum delivered in his measured corporate voice. Sign this, or we're done. I set the papers down. I need time to think. We don't have time. The wedding's in 3 weeks. Then maybe we should postpone. My parents have spent $200,000 on this wedding. Your parents have spent $200,000 on a party to show off their wealth. That's not the same thing as a wedding. Ralph closes his eyes. When he opens them, I see something I haven't seen before: resentment. Just sign it, Annette. Please. Let's not make this harder than it needs to be. Harder for who? He doesn't answer. Just picks up the prenup and sets it in front of me with a pen. I sign it. Every page. Every initial. Every acknowledgement that I'm entering this marriage with nothing and will leave with nothing if it fails. When I'm done, Ralph actually looks relieved. Kisses my forehead like I'm a child who's finally stopped throwing a tantrum. Thank you. I know this wasn't easy. I smile. File the moment away. The first crack in the foundation. The wedding happens at the Whitmore estate. 300 guests, a live orchestra, and flowers imported from Ecuador. Patricia wears cream, practically white, and positions herself in every photo like she's the bride. Ralph's father, Richard, makes a toast about welcoming Annette into the family that sounds more like accepting a merger than a daughter-in-law. I smile through it all. The comments about my simple background. The jokes about Ralph marrying down. The relatives who ask what I bring to the table besides my looks. My mother pulls me aside before the reception ends. Are you sure about this, honey? These people, they don't seem very kind. I love Ralph. I know. But does he love you enough to stand up to them? I don't answer because I don't know. The first year of marriage is exactly what Patricia orchestrated. We live in the guest house on the estate until you find something suitable, which translates to until we've trained Annette properly. I'm expected at family dinners twice a week. Expected to quit teaching because Whitmore wives don't work. Expected to start planning for children who will carry on the family name. Ralph travels constantly for work. When he's home, he's exhausted, distracted, and increasingly distant. The man I dated, the one who took me to jazz clubs and laughed at my jokes, has been replaced by a corporate shell who checks his phone during dinner and falls asleep before I finish talking. I keep teaching. It's the only piece of myself I haven't surrendered. Patricia is furious. It's embarrassing, she announces at Sunday dinner, 6 months into the marriage. What will people think when they hear Ralph Whitmore's wife works at a public school? They'll think she has a job, I reply evenly. You don't need a job. Ralph provides everything. I like working. I like teaching. What you like is irrelevant. You're a Whitmore now. You represent this family. Ralph says nothing. Just cuts his steak with surgical precision, eyes on his plate. That night, I try to talk to him. Your mother is trying to control my life. She means well. She told me what I like is irrelevant. She's just worried about the family image. What about my image? What about what I want? Annette, you married into this family. There are expectations. I married you. Not your family. Not their expectations. He sets down his book, finally looking at me. It's the same thing. You knew that going in. Did I? Because I thought I was marrying a partner, not joining a corporation. You're being dramatic again. That phrase. The one he uses whenever I express dissatisfaction. You're being dramatic. Dismissing my feelings as performance. Reducing my legitimate concerns to emotional instability. I stopped trying to talk to him after that. Start teaching summer school. Start saving money in an account he doesn't know exists. The explosion comes during year 2. Ralph's younger brother, Tyler, gets arrested. DUI, cocaine possession, resisting arrest. It's his 3rd offense. The family lawyer gets him out, but rehabilitation is recommended by the court. At Sunday dinner, Patricia makes the announcement. We've found a facility in Switzerland. 6 months, residential. It's extremely expensive, but Tyler needs the best. How expensive? Ralph asks. $180,000. I choke on my wine. $180,000 for rehab? Patricia's eyes turn to ice. For the best facility in the world. Tyler deserves proper care. There are excellent facilities in the States for a fraction of that cost. We're not sending him to some state-run facility with addicts and criminals. He is an addict and a criminal. He got arrested with cocaine. The table goes silent. Richard sets down his fork slowly. How dare you, Patricia breathes. Tyler is sick. He needs help, not judgment from someone who grew up in a double-wide trailer. The attack is so specific, so cruel, that for a moment I can't respond. She's done her research. Knows exactly where to strike. I grew up in a mobile home. Not a double-wide. And my parents worked 3 jobs between them to make sure I had everything I needed. Which is more than Tyler's ever done in his life. Ralph, control your wife. I turn to him. Wait. He's staring at his plate again, that same cowardly refusal to engage. Ralph? I push. Annette, this isn't the time. When is the time? When your mother insults my family. When she acts like $180,000 is reasonable for your drug addict brother who's been enabled his entire life. That's enough, Richard interjects. His voice carries the authority of someone used to obedience. Tyler is family. We take care of family. By throwing money at problems instead of making him face consequences? Patricia stands. Get out. Get out of my house. Gladly. I drop my napkin and leave. Ralph doesn't follow. I wait in the guest house for an hour. He never comes. When he finally returns at midnight, he's cold. You embarrass me in front of my family. Your mother insulted my family. Your brother is a drug addict costing $180,000. And you said nothing. It's not your business. I'm your wife. It is my business. No, it's a family business. He stops. I'm what? Not really family? Is that what you were going to say? He doesn't deny it. Just loosens his tie, exhausted. They want us to contribute to Tyler's rehab. $50,000. The number hits like a fist. What? Dad's covering most of it. But as Tyler's brother, I'm expected to contribute. We're expected to contribute. You mean I'm expected to contribute? With money I don't have because I signed away any claim to yours. We're married. We share finances. Do we? Because I don't see any of your money, Ralph. I pay for my own gas, my own groceries, my own phone. The only thing you pay for is this guest house your mother lets us live in. That's not fair. What's not fair is being called a gold digger and then being expected to fund your brother's 6-month vacation to a Swiss resort disguised as rehab. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Tyler doesn't need $180,000 of pampering. He needs consequences. He needs to face what he's done. But your family won't let that happen because image matters more than reality. Ralph's voice drops to something dangerous. If you can't support my family, I don't know what we're doing here. The threat hangs between us. Neither do I hear myself say. He sleeps in the guest room that night. And the next night. And the one after that. 2 weeks later, Patricia calls me directly. We need to discuss Tyler's treatment. I have nothing to discuss. The family has decided everyone will contribute proportionally. Based on income, your share is $15,000. I laugh. Actually laugh. Based on my income of $47,000? You want me to contribute 1/3 of my annual salary. We've already been generous giving you 2 weeks to think about it. The money is due Friday. I'm not giving you $15,000. Then you're not part of this family. I've never been part of your family, Patricia. You've made that clear from day one. You're a selfish, ungrateful girl who trapped my son with your looks and your poverty. But you won't get a penny when this marriage ends. I made sure of that. She hangs up before I can respond. That afternoon, I call a divorce attorney. Her name is Rebecca Stone. She has silver hair, sharp eyes, and a reputation for destroying entitled spouses in court. She listens to my story without interrupting. The prenup is solid, she says, reviewing the document I brought. You won't get spousal support or division of assets. I don't want his money. Then what do you want? I want out. And I want them to understand they don't own me. Rebecca smiles. It's not a nice smile. Tell me everything. Every detail. Every expense. Every contribution you've made to the household. I do. 2 years of receipts. Groceries I bought. Utilities I paid. Repairs I funded. Gas, insurance, maintenance on my car that Ralph promised to take care of but never did. The new furniture for the guest house Patricia said was too shabby, so I replaced it with my own money. The gifts for Ralph's family at Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, all purchased with my salary while Ralph's money stayed safely in accounts I couldn't touch. Rebecca's smile grows wider with each revelation. This is good. This is very good. Why? Because while you were signing that prenup, you were still contributing to marital expenses. You were subsidizing his lifestyle. And if we can prove he required you to cover household costs while refusing to share his assets, we can argue financial abuse. Will that void the prenup? No. But it will make him look very, very bad. And it will justify a judge awarding you compensatory damages for contributions made during the marriage. She starts calculating. By the time she's done, the number is staggering, $67,000. 2 years of contributions I made while living with a millionaire who treated me like a dependent. File, I tell her. The papers are served at Ralph's office. Professional, public, humiliating. His assistant called me, panicked. Mrs. Whitmore, Mr. Whitmore would like you to call him immediately. Tell Mr. Whitmore to contact my attorney. He shows up at the guest house that evening, furious. You filed for divorce? Without even talking to me. We haven't talked in weeks, Ralph. You sleep in the guest room. You ignore me at dinner. You let your mother treat me like garbage. What was there to talk about? This is about Tyler, isn't it? About the money. This is about everything. About marrying a man who disappeared the moment he got a ring on my finger. About your family treating me like I'm not good enough. About being called a gold digger and then being billed for your brother's problems. We can work this out. No, we can't. Because you chose them over me the day you handed me that prenup. You've been choosing them ever since. Annette, please. I love you. The words sound hollow. Practiced. Like something he's supposed to say. No, you don't. You love the idea of me. The trophy wife your mother can parade around once she's finished training me. But you don't love me. You don't even know me. He tries to argue. I close the door in his face. Patricia calls the next morning, venomous. You stupid, stupid girl. You think you'll get anything from this divorce? You signed a prenup. I'm aware. Then what's the point of this tantrum? You'll walk away with nothing. Actually, Patricia, I'll walk away with $67,000. That's what your son owes me for 2 years of household contributions while he hoarded his precious assets. My lawyer's very good. She documented everything. Silence. You're lying. I have receipts. 2 years of them. Groceries, utilities, furniture, gifts for your family, car maintenance Ralph promised to cover, but never did. Every penny I spent subsidizing your millionaire son's lifestyle. That's not. It's called financial exploitation, and my lawyer is very excited to explain it to a judge. More silence. Then, how much do you want? I don't want your money. I want a divorce. And I want you to know you don't own me. You'll never find anyone like Ralph again. God, I hope not. I hung up. The divorce takes 4 months. Ralph's lawyers fight the $67,000 claim, but Rebecca is relentless. She brings receipts, bank statements, and testimony from my accountant. She demonstrates that I covered household expenses while Ralph kept his money separate, that I was expected to contribute financially while being excluded from marital assets. The judge awards me $67,000 plus legal fees. Ralph is ordered to pay $12,000 for Rebecca's services. But I'm not done. There's something else, I tell Rebecca the day after the judgment. Something I found while packing my things from the guest house. I pull out a folder. Inside are documents I discovered in Ralph's home office, the one Patricia told me I wasn't allowed to enter. I'd gone in anyway during my final week there, looking for our marriage certificate. I found something much more interesting. Rebecca opens the folder. Her eyes widen as she flips through pages. Is this what I think it is? Tax fraud. The Whitmore family business has been claiming fake charitable donations for years. Patricia runs a foundation that's supposed to fund literacy programs. Except there are no literacy programs. The money goes right back into their personal accounts. Millions of dollars, untaxed, laundered through a fake charity. Where did you get this? Ralph's files. He's the CFO. He signs off on everything. I took photos of all of it before I left. Rebecca is quiet for a long moment. If you report this to the IRS, the Whitmores will be audited. They could face criminal charges. The business could be seized. They could lose everything. I know. Annette, this is beyond divorce revenge. This is destroying an entire family. They tried to destroy me first. Called me a gold digger while stealing from taxpayers. Demanded I fund Tyler's rehab while they hoarded money they didn't even earn legally. Are you sure you want to do this? I think about Patricia's face when she called me trailer trash. About Ralph sleeping in the guest room rather than defending me. About being billed $15,000 for a drug addict's Swiss vacation while living on $47,000 a year. Make the call. Rebecca contacts a friend at the IRS. Sends over the documentation. Within 2 weeks, the Whitmore family business receives notice of a federal audit. Patricia calls me, hysterical. What did you do? What did you fucking do? I have no idea what you're talking about. The IRS is auditing us. Someone sent them information about the foundation. It was you. I know it was you. Patricia, I'm a school teacher. I don't know anything about your business. You were in Ralph's office. You took files. He told me things were moved. I was packing my belongings from the house I lived in. If Ralph kept sensitive documents in an unlocked office, that's his problem. You vindictive bitch. You're trying to destroy us. No, Patricia. I'm just refusing to cover for you anymore. There's a difference. She's still screaming when I hang up. The audit takes 6 months. During that time, I watch from a distance as the Whitmore empire crumbles. First, Richard steps down from the company board. Health reasons, the press release says. Reality. He's being investigated for fraud and needs distance from the business before charges are filed. Then the foundation is dissolved. Assets frozen. Years of financial statements subpoenaed. Patricia's name is all over everything. Fake receipts, forged donation records, money transfers to personal accounts disguised as administrative costs. Ralph calls me. Please, make this stop. Tell them you made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. Your family did. For years. They'll press charges against my mother. Against my father. The business will be destroyed. Then maybe they shouldn't have committed fraud. Annette, please. I know we didn't work out. I know my family treated you badly. But this is too much. Too much? You want to talk about too much, Ralph? Your mother called me a gold digger while running a fake charity. She stole millions from taxpayers while calling me a leech. She demanded I pay for your brother's rehab with money I didn't have while sitting on a fortune she didn't legally earn. That's too much. If they go to prison, then they'll finally face consequences for their actions. Just like you wanted Tyler to avoid. Just like you've all avoided your entire lives. I'm begging you. You should have begged when your mother called me trailer trash. You should have begged when she billed me $15,000 for Tyler's problems. You should have begged when you handed me that prenup and made me sign away my dignity. But you didn't. You stayed silent. So now I'm done being silent too. I hang up. Tyler, ironically, is the first to flip. Facing his 3rd drug arrest and seeing his family's money evaporate, he takes a plea deal in exchange for testimony about the foundation. Confirms everything, the fake donations, the money laundering, his parents' direct involvement. Patricia is arrested at her country club. The video makes local news. She's wearing tennis whites, being led out in handcuffs while her friends watch in horror. Someone recorded it. It goes viral. Ralph's company fires him once his role as CFO becomes liability. He signed every fraudulent document. He approved every fake donation. Whether he knew the details or not, he's legally responsible. The trial takes a year. I'm called as a witness, not about the fraud directly, but about the family dynamics. Rebecca prepared me well. The prosecutor asks about Patricia's character. I tell the truth. She called me a gold digger when I married her son. Then she demanded I contribute $15,000 to her younger son's rehabilitation while she sat on millions of dollars hidden in fake charitable accounts. She treated me like I was beneath her while stealing from people who actually needed help. Objection. Patricia's lawyer jumps up. Relevance. It speaks to the defendant's mindset, the prosecutor argues. Her belief that she was entitled to other people's money while hoarding her own through illegal means. I'll allow it. I continue. Patricia Whitmore spent 2 years telling me I wasn't good enough for her family, that I was only after their money, that I needed to contribute financially to prove I wasn't a leech. The entire time, she was running a fraudulent charity that stole from the government and real people who needed help. She called me a gold digger while being the biggest thief in the room. Patricia's face is bright red. She's aged 10 years in the past 12 months. The designer clothes are gone, replaced by an off-the-rack suit. The imperious expression has been replaced with fear. The jury deliberates for 3 days. Guilty on all counts. Tax fraud, wire fraud, money laundering. Patricia is sentenced to 8 years in federal prison. Richard gets 6. Their assets are seized to pay restitution for $0.2 million owed to the IRS, plus penalties. The Whitmore estate is sold at auction. I don't attend, but I see the photos online. The house goes for $3.1 million, well below market value. Foreclosure sales always do. Ralph loses everything. The trust fund his parents established is seized. The company he worked for collapses under investigation. He moves into a small apartment in a bad part of town, working as a financial consultant for a fraction of his former salary. Tyler ends up in court-mandated state rehab. The $180,000 Swiss facility is off the table. His family can't afford it anymore. He completes 6 months at a place that costs $3,000 a month, paid for by the state. He actually gets clean. Sends me a message through Facebook a year later. I know you probably hate us, but thank you. My parents' money was killing me. The state facility saved my life because I couldn't buy my way out. I don't respond, but I don't block him either. 2 years after the divorce, I'm teaching at a private school. Better pay, better students, better life. I finished my master's degree using the $67,000 Ralph paid me. I bought a small house with the leftover funds. It's mine. No guest house, no estate, no strings attached. Patricia sends me a letter from prison. Handwritten, 6 pages long. It starts with "You destroyed my family" and ends with "I hope you rot in hell." I frame it. Hang it in my home office above my desk. A reminder of what happens when people mistake kindness for weakness. Ralph tries to reconnect after Patricia's sentencing. Shows up at my school, looking hollow and defeated. I lost everything, he says. So did I. I lost 2 years of my life married to a coward. I'm sorry. I should have defended you. I should have. You should have been a man instead of a wallet. But you weren't. So this is what happens. Did you really have to report them to the IRS? Did you have to destroy everything? I look at him, really look at him. He's thinner now, worn down. The polish is gone. For the first time since I met him, he looks real. Yes, I say simply. I did. Because your family tried to destroy me first. They called me a gold digger while literally stealing money. They demanded I pay for problems I didn't create while hoarding wealth they didn't legally earn. They treated me like garbage while committing crimes that hurt real people. So yes, I reported them. And I'd do it again. Was any of it real? Did you ever actually love me? I loved who I thought you were. But that person didn't exist. You were just your mother's puppet. And when I cut the strings, you collapsed. He leaves without another word. 3 years after the divorce, I'm engaged. His name is David, he's a middle school teacher, and he thinks my mobile home childhood is interesting, not shameful. He's never had money. Never wanted it. Just wants a partner. We're planning a small wedding. My mother is crying happy tears. My father keeps asking if I'm sure this time. I am. The invitation list doesn't include anyone named Whitmore. Patricia has 4 years left on her sentence. Richard has 2. Ralph is working as a bookkeeper somewhere in Ohio. Tyler is clean, working construction, rebuilding his life from scratch. The Whitmore Foundation's fake literacy programs became real ones after the scandal. The seized assets were redirected to actual charities. Thousands of kids are learning to read because I turned in those documents. People sometimes ask if I feel guilty. If I regret destroying an entire family over a bad marriage. I don't. Patricia called me a gold digger. Then demanded I fund her son's problems. Then discovered I was the most expensive woman she'd ever underestimated. The prenup protected Ralph's assets from me in divorce. But nothing protected the Whitmores from the IRS. They thought I was after their money. They were wrong. I was after something much more valuable, justice. And I got it. Every single penny they stole. Every year they'll spend paying for it. Every piece of their empire torn down brick by brick. Ralph handed me a prenup that said I'd leave the marriage with nothing. He was wrong. I left with $67,000, my dignity, and the satisfaction of watching his entire criminal family face consequences for the first time in their lives. Patricia wanted to call me a gold digger? Fine. I became the one who buried her in the gold she stole. And the beautiful thing about federal prison? There's no prenup that protects you from that.